right? And so, I mean, what if you have ongoing income after the few years you put in, you have ongoing income. So you don't have to go to work, or maybe you still go to work, but the mindset of going to work is differently because you're doing your boss a favor. How's that? Okay. And so, I mean, these phrase, I think is even better reading in Chinese, but since a lot of people here may not be know Chinese, we normally don't have to work hard for the rest of our life, but we do have to work hard from time to time. But a lot of people trying to avoid working hard for a while, but ended up to work hard for the rest of life. So a lot of time when we do this business, and we always bring up what I like to do, it's not what I necessary to do. If you only pick and choose what you do, oh, I can go to calling. Oh, I love product. I can go to a product training. But convention, no, 609 ringgit, that's too much. I pick and choose, right? So ended up, if you are not doing the unfranchised way, you're not being able to get the benefit from the unfranchised. So ended up, you might ended up using the 45-year way to do shop.com. You're not be able to get whatever you're supposed to get. And so don't pick and choose. Do whatever it takes. Okay. So how do we overcome challenges? What are challenges? Well, think about it. Something that attracts you, it must be attracts you when you first started the business. For myself, I was attracted by this mission statement. Market Malaysia or Australia or anywhere else provides a system for entrepreneurs to create ongoing income and become financially independent while providing consumers worldwide a better way to shop. I mean, the mission of this company actually puts my interest in it. They are not only working for themselves, not only working for their shareholders, they're also working for me, my interest in there. I mean, whenever you get a chance to look at different companies' mission statement, look at it and compare with shop.com. And so I that was how moved I was when I go to my first US convention and seeing those people work so hard. They are already financially free and they don't have to work for money. They don't work for income, but they work for outcome, as what Lauren says on this US convention. And so they are a bunch of people. We don't understand why they're doing it. That they partner for 29 years. They continue to doing. They work even harder than we are, and they are putting the outcome to the UFOs. So the first question you have to ask yourself: are you an entrepreneur? If you are not an entrepreneur, and you come to the wrong place, because entrepreneur and you work differently and you think differently because you're entrepreneur. Okay. And some people says, yeah, it's hard to start a business. Yeah, it's hard to do anything. For myself, it's even harder to go to 9 to 5 every day. I don't know, I'm on a high horse to say that or not, because I've been in the business for so long. There was one incident, it struck me so much. One day, a partner of mine asked me to do a ABC to a dentist. And so happened, this dentist is quite some way from my house. Normally without traffic, it's about an hour, it's about 45-minute drive. And so happened, this dentist said, oh, I have time, but you have to come in before 9. I start at 9 o'clock. And so back then I have nutrimetric program to approach health professionals. So I said, well, Amy, it's 45 minutes. How about I'll take 2 hours just to beat the traffic? And ended up took me 3 hours. I missed the appointment. Took me 3 hours to get there. As I was driving, there was like parking lots, bumper to bumper traffic. I was so frustrated because I'm the person, don't want to break my promises. I'm there at 9 o'clock. I should be there at 9 o'clock, right? I was so frustrated, but yet at the same time, as I was sitting in the car, I was so glad that I'm not in the 9 to 5 job. I mean, disappointment is once in a blue moon and I can overcome it. But I look at all the cars around me. Those people have no choice but to stuck on the traffic day in and day out. At that moment, it kind of strengthened my why doing the business is that not to sit in the traffic every day. So you got to have a purpose doing this business. So the question we have to ask is that, does it mean that we don't do it? It's hard. While going to college is harder than working as a janitor. I don't discriminate janitor at all, right? But it's harder. Is that because of that we don't go to college? Well, for women, having kids, having to go through labor is hard. So are we all keeping, ourselves don't have kids? No, we still do. But the more importantly, we know the purpose we're doing it. And the purpose is that what? Working very hard for a few months, few years, and then gain the financial independence. My sister right now is 70 years old in Hong Kong. She's been doing shop.com for 13 years. She's making 40,000 ringgit every single month in this business. And she started the business as a 56-year-old housewife. Doesn't know English, never touched a computer. The reason, of course, number one, she came in is that she has no choice. I got only one sister in Hong Kong. And secondly, she sees this chart. She sees, if I work very hard for a few years, do I got the financial reward later on? I said, yes. And she put this chart on her very first dream board. And that dream board is still in her room right now. 70 years old, getting 40,000 ringgit, what kind of lifestyle? And because she knows why she's doing it. And so anything worthwhile doing, it takes time. So if you are doing it for 3 years, ever since Market Malaysia started, and right now you're doing 3 years, you're not getting to that financial independence, it's okay. SHIT happens sometime, and continue doing what you believe that it worked for you. How about taking 5 years to get 20,000 ringgit? How about taking 7 years? It's still better than 45-year plan, right? So continue pressing on. So for ordinary people, earning residual income is not reasonable. I mean, think about it and go out and around friend. How many people they are making residual income? They don't have to work and they got tons of money coming in every single month. How many people do that? Well, we know a couple of latok, right? But they might not even get residual income. So for ordinary people, it's not reasonable to earn that kind of money. So as we do this business, you just don't use your normal reasoning towards your business. Well, 609 ringgit is a lot of money, Right now it's MCO, my job is getting half pay, and so on and so forth. Well, that's a normal people this reasoning. But once you are condense this 45-year plan into 2 to 3 year plan, cut the crap. Just do whatever you have to. Because twice a year convention, it's part of the game, part of the plan. You cannot say pick and choose what you want to do and still achieving in 2 to 3 years. No, it's not happening. Unfortunately, if you're upline not telling you, I am telling you right now, do whatever it takes. This is the unfranchised system. And so what they challenge? Well, challenge is just something that we are insufficient of regarding the ability of working with people, the ability of doing things that we have not done in the past. So what happened? If we are insufficient of, we'll just learn and keep doing it until we master it. And so what we have to do, we have to self-examine. what ability I'm equipped to do this business and what ability I'm not. So what I do is that I'll just make it up. So I'll just go one by one. So what you do, the first thing is that your ability to manage yourself. Do you have your own vision and mission? Do you know your why? If not, it's very easy. I'll just give you my bank account number. And all you have to do is that transfer your money to my bank account. And now you have very good reason to do this business. I mean, everybody have different reason. What you do is that you kind of enlarge your reason, you enlarge your mission and knowing why you're doing it. And if you don't really know, talk to your team, talk to your mentors, and have them to assist you to discover your vision, your mission, and your why. And secondly is that, am I getting my credibility to the people around me? Am I trustworthy? Am I keeping my words? If I agree to do something for people, do I follow through? Do I make it happen? Or somehow that the people around me doesn't even trust me because I did not keep my words. If that's what your problem is, we'll fix it. And in Chinese, we say 靠谱. 你靠谱吗? Are you being reliable? Right? And also, how do we communicate with people? Do we know the skill? Do we know what to say, how to say it? And all these are very important in our business because we are people business. And secondly, how about on the business skill? Do we know the system? Are we into the system? Do we go to back office and check it out the meeting search? Do we know the resources that we on our fingertip? Are we attending all the necessary training? For myself, one of the benefit I gain from the business is that very early on, I would say the next 3 months to 6 months, I attend trainings whenever I can squeeze time. When I sit in a training, I write lots of notes, even a lot of jokes that the speaker is saying. So I was thinking maybe later on, this particular joke I can use in whatever presentations of mine. So I'm almost like a big sponge to kind of like absorb all the information and from different speakers. Okay. And to a point that I was in the business for about like a month or so, I start having my home business presentations. We open up to the whole group, even sidelines, to have them to come in to support. Then we make the presentation kind of overwhelm to people. And do you contact with your senior partner on a daily basis? Keep asking questions. How about verify? I got a thinking, a project I want to do. Do you think that the way I think or the way I kind of plan out, is that workable? Just keep having interaction with your mentors and senior partners. And thirdly is that your organization skill. Do you know how to work with people? And one thing I learned from this business is called LQ. We know IQ, we know EQ. Some people know FQ, financial quotient, and some people know SQ, success quotient. And one Q I learned from a Taiwan leader is location quotient. How do you position yourself in various events, various organizations? You can be somebody's downline, but yet at the same time you are somebody's uplines. In an event, you can be a coordinator, you could be a supporter. But once, no matter where you stand at that moment, you play your own part. You play your own part. Your follower, you just follow. And if you're leader, you make decision. And that's very important. And to certain points, you have to work with your cross line. Just right now, we have about how many people? 221. So we may not have economic interest, but we have the same goal and to work together to achieve everybody's own goal. Okay. Know your weaknesses, your strengths, and also your partner's weaknesses and strengths. How to work together. And so finally, how can we overcome it swiftly? Not keeping there, complaining the same old problem. I mean, day in and day out, monthly. I mean, the month after month. Okay, and so one of the way to do is that a lot of people say, well, failure is not the opposite of success; it's part of the success. So, as what Steve Jobs says, fail quickly. In this business, you if you're trying to prevent failure in this business, it's very easy. You sign up and don't show up anymore, and so you don't have failure, but you're not success either. So in order to be successful in this business, you just keep trying and trying, but don't make the same mistake too many times. Keep learning from it and keep trying. Okay, fail fast and learn quickly. How losing can help you to win. I mean, all the successful people in shop.com, and at the end of the day, you look at it and they just fail more than you do. That's it. Okay. And so one of the most important thing in this business is that you have massive action. And also this action is result producing actions. In this business, two things are very easy to handle. And a lot of people love to do these two things. One is taking product. Number two is going to classes to learn. Because when you do these two things, you're not being rejected. Nobody reject you when you go to class. When you drink OPC, OPC doesn't reject you. But anything else, when you go out and talk to people about the business opportunity or the product, people will reject you. But it's okay. That's just the world. Anything you do outside, people rejected you anyway. But you still pressing on, learn from it until you get results. Okay, and massive action versus passive action. Okay, so action has many different ways, but you do massive action. Okay, successful people can modify countless time, but they never give up their goal. Versus the people is not successful, that they always keep adjusting their goal, but they never change the way of doing things. And so lastly, we should be very happy and glad that we are partnering with shop.com, because right now we heard a lot of new terms. For example, prosumer, share economy, and all that. Especially every time when you go to WeChat, they keep saying, "Oh, Jack Ma says that. Jack Ma says that." Right? Do you know all the things Jack Ma is saying? JR was saying that 20 some odd years ago. And so we are very fortunate to have a company and a bunch of people in a corporate team that have their vision and to sort out the business opportunity. That what we do is that we just plug in and we stand on the shoulder of these giants to see our own future. And so we are very fortunate. And so what we have to do is that just keep pressing on, keep pressing on, and do whatever we have to take. And lastly, in this particular business, the key to success is whether we are grateful. We are so grateful that there is a company that allow us to be participated in it. And we're so grateful that we have our senior partner to support us, our sponsor to bring us in, and we have a bunch of partners to work with us. And if you wake up every day, regardless the last day, whatever challenges you have gone through, you still keep being grateful that these businesses bring you the opportunity, the hope, the dreams, and hopefully that see everybody on the top. Thank you very much, and passing back to the host.
Thank you so much, Stephen. That is really very, very good advice and words of wisdom from someone who has built this business for so many years. I remember how your story, your power profile, how you started in the traditional business, and now you are such a successful unfranchised business owner. So okay, we have some questions Q&A here. I see a lot of messages coming in, thanking you for the sharing, great
Thank you for
sharing, and
having
so
this
on.
opportunity.
Welcome, welcome. We are so honored and so privileged to have you this so early in the morning for you. Okay, let's get the questions rolling. And before that, I would like to bring in my co-host for the Q&A, none other than Stan Wong.
Hey,
Stan, are you
hi.
there?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Stephen, for taking time off in the early morning in LA and be with us. What a fantastic session. So we're not gonna leave you with just coming on session without some questions that's posted by all our partners here. Let's start with
Well,
the first
let's
question.
fire that up.
Okay. How to sustain inactive business partners in this business? Stephen.
How to
Sustain inactive partners. That means people who are
how
not
to
in the system yet.
okay, how to sustain the inactive partners?
Yeah.
Okay, how about turn this question around? How do I support my active partner?
Well said.
Okay, because you know that there is a rule in the society, 80-20. 20% of people have done the 80% of result. So your focus should be on the active people, not the passive people. And so what you needed to do is that to identify your active people in your organization, and you schedule 80% of the time to support them. And the other 20% basically plug in them to the events, the organization activities, and so on and so forth. But you still put the 80% of time on the 20% of people.
Move forward with the active one.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Inactive
Well, think about it. Think about it. When you are having a army, maybe like a ship, right? You have like 10 vessels. Do we slow down the whole process because we want to wait for the last one? And can you win the war by doing that? No, you can't. And the one on the last, if they continue, they're willingly to follow, they continue to follow. But you don't slow down the whole group for the last one. Have we heard of the story of the geeks? What JR says, right?
Yes.
So why do we have to fly in the formation? Because we can leverage each other. But once in a while, you would have people that fall behind, or geese or goose fall behind, right? A couple people might stay behind with them, but the whole group is still continue to fly. And that's what you want to focus on.
Okay, great answer. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Yep, that was a very good answer. I like the 80-20 rule. Okay, next up, another question. What if your business partners don't want to attend major convention, but always attend the local GMTSS? What wise words could you offer to them?
Well, first of all, I think that if you get a chance to communicate with them, is to dig out their why. Dig out the why. I mean, why they are doing the business and what they are trying to achieve and how they can achieve their goals if they have any. And so what we needed to do, of course, I mean, again, is that don't always focus on the one who's not willing to go to convention. I mean, let's say if you have a team of, I don't know, like 20 people. Well, according to 2080 rule, you got at least 4 people that you don't have to push them to buy tickets because those are on autopilot. And then there are some people, maybe these people bring in, and maybe another 4. So that 8 people is what you focus. But of course, I mean, you have to push all the major events within your organization. And so if those people are not willing to buy the tickets, communicate with them and why they're coming into the business to begin with, and how they're going to achieve their goal if they don't do whatever they have to take. And then after you try your way, and you just have to focus on the people who's going to convention.
It's true. We just focus on the go nows.
Yes, yes.
Over to you, Stan.
All right. What would be your best advice to succeed in challenging moments like right now, pandemic session? It doesn't happen in Asia Pacific; it's happening all over the world.
Survive.
Survival of the fittest.
What people said 2020 is the year of surviving. Because I mean, indeed, I mean, of course, that surviving is like not just breathing. I mean, you're still having your job, you're still be able to have a lifestyle and so on and so forth. Success basically is defined by each individual. We probably have different definition of success to different people. For example, for a housewife, success can be, I mean, bring up their kids well. And for us to do this business, not only that we make it ourselves, and how are you going to be influence other people? For myself in this business, I gave myself 4S. The first S is survive. So when I am in the business, especially in my situation, is that I know that my traditional business is gonna be obsolete later on when I started shop.com. So for myself, I have to work very hard, hopefully that I can make my income from shop.com to replace my traditional business income at the time if it's not be able to continue. And so I used 3.5 years part-time to build the business. And I was fortunate that although the income was not completely replaced, but at least when I shut down my traditional business, I already have shop.com as a backup. And so for the first S is survive. The second is stable. When I get to about professional coordinator, 4,500 US, and which is about 1,008, I believe, is that a thousand? No, 18,000 ringgit. That's about the income that you barely can sustain, I mean, to kind of feed your family. Okay. The third one is success, and which when I worked to about director. And in this business, especially JR says that someday we're going to be having a convention with all the director. I said, I got the ticket now, right? That's success, right? So just like any business and any entrepreneur, if the success is all about material, tangible stuff, it's not quite fulfilling. And so that's why you look at a lot of successful people that right now money is not the issue, but they're still working very hard to give the society something back and so on and so forth. So the fourth S that at least my philosophy is significant, to be impactful to people around you. And I remember many times I go to different major events and people walk up to me and say, oh, thank you, Stephen. I said, oh, I don't even know you. Why do you thank me? Oh, I was about to quit. And I went to one of your trainings and listened to you, and you inspired me to stay there again. And now I'm here, I'm achieving another level and so on. So you don't know what you do, what you say that might inspire people around you. For me, myself, that's success. Back to you, Stan.
Oh, it's a team, right?
Okay, yeah, it's my turn.
Right.
All right, I have
Thank you so
here a question from the participant. Johnny, he said, what is in your mind when you fail, and what are the things you do to go back to doing massive action?
Okay. For myself, of course, I mean, that doesn't happen overnight, and definitely that doesn't happen when I start a business. Over time in this business, and I learned to, again, back to the last, oh, okay, I'm not doing the share screen. The last slide is that you have to be grateful. And even though you fail, you can still be grateful that you got one more opportunity to learn. And there was a story that there was a pastor and giving the sermon on that day. And he says, I was so glad that yesterday I got robbed and lost my wallet. And people are saying that you're nuts. You got robbed and you still be grateful. He says, not only I'm grateful, I have 4 things to grateful for. He says, number one, first one is first time I was being robbed in my life. A lot of people being robbed many, many times, right? That was the first time. And second thing, I'm grateful that so happened my wallet doesn't have any cash in it. So I'm grateful I don't lose a whole lot, right? Number 3, and I'm so grateful that the thief is not because I don't have cash and hit me, right? Isn't it the story we heard of? So that's the number 3 things grateful. And the number 4 grateful, he says, I'm grateful that I'm not a thief. So anything happen to you, you can be grateful about. And so for myself right now, I'm still doing my prospecting every day. I add 2 new people every day. I contact 5 prospects every day. Of course, I got a whole lot more no than yes. But hey, I'm still grateful that I've been able to add those friends. They accept me as a friend and they respond my post and so on and so forth. And so always keep grateful. Okay, Stan.
Questions from there's one question from the chat group. How do I plug my team into GMTSS training when they don't listen to audios and don't know the importance of training?
How about one more time the question?
How do I plug my team into GMTSS training
Okay.
when they don't listen to audios and don't know the importance of trainings?
Okay, that means that you haven't partnered with the right team yet. Continue to sponsor people, continue to recruit. Of course, I mean, on the side, when people come in, they are not getting into the system and you just do anything to emphasize the importance of the GMTSS. I mean, if anybody do this business and not leveraging the system, you are just not converting your mindset into the unfranchised system. You are still using the traditional way of doing business. And the whole attraction of this business is that Market America has already created a system, and this system has been proven for the last 28 years. So if there is something there, why do you have to insist doing it your way? And especially you are not getting result from it. And sometimes what you have to also do is that if they are attending callings and some of the small gatherings, but they're not plugged into the big team. So sometimes what you wanted to do is that you can invite some of the sidelines to come into your events to share their success story. And you're using the third party to emphasize plug into to the unfranchised system is important. So you try all you can to just like leading a new person to bring them to the system. And sometimes you can do it and sometimes you fail, but you still continue to do it. But more importantly, continue to sponsor people. And sometimes it's so funny that you start a business and somehow you develop a 5 people organization, let's say, and those people are not into their condition. It's so hard to do it, and it's so hard to do it. Sometimes you sponsor one person, and so happen that's the right person. Oh my God, that person call you every day, several times a day, asking this and asking this and asking you to do a lot of ABCs, and you find out why. This is UFO, that is UFO, but how come this one is so different from that one? Well, because the right one. And so continue to look for the right one. And sometimes you have to go from behind your current UFO. And that's why you spend a lot of time on looking at their name list and digging out their people from their name list and to invite them to event and do a lot of trial run ABCs until you find the right one. And once you have the right one, the way to interact, the way to expand is so day and night.
So
Wow.
true. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Yeah, awesome answers and so much wisdom in all your answers. We have many more questions, but I think due to the time, we probably have to just pose the last question. This participant asked, how do you restart momentum for yourself and for your team to follow?
It's actually a very good question, and even though for us being doing the business for so long, and we still have moments of downtimes, and sometimes you just like sit there and lay there and just don't do anything. It could be either tired or could be discouraged, could be get too many no at one time, and so on and so forth. Again, it's the same thing as your whole why you're doing it. And if at this particular time I fall down and I don't get up again, would you get to your destiny? Would you get to, achieve your goal? And especially in this particular business, we are setting as example for our team. If we don't do what we're supposed to, and your team copy you quite vividly. Something is that we are in the highly duplication business. What you do, they might not do. What you don't do, they would definitely don't do. Okay. And so
Yes.
we have to set example for our group. Although we are still human, we still have our emotional ups and downs and our family business and so on and so forth. But we have to keep in mind that we are almost like an icon in our organization. So whatever we do, whatever the way we interact with our partners, that we are setting example for the success of our organization. And so you just have to just keep bringing up your why to eventually motivate yourself to pressing on and pressing on. For myself, I don't really have to do anything, but for the last 9 months, 8 months, I sponsored 7 people. I still
Wow.
doing my prospecting, recruiting, and most of them are on Facebook, and I haven't seen them before, and yet, because one thing I know full well is that there are a lot of people need help out there, especially ever since MCO. There's a lot of people are so frustrated with their life, with their job, with the pandemic, and a lot of people are so confused and don't have any, just can't imagine what's going to be ahead of them. And so by extending our hands, and although I'm not saying that we are that great, we are doing it all for other people. I'm doing for myself, for my family too. But that's one benefit of this business, is that you're helping yourself while helping others. So extend your hand, keep talking to people. Don't put too much attention on your yes or no, but just keep spreading the words. And hopefully that we can help more people, especially in this special time.
Wow, that's so true, Stephen, because I think really a lot of people are hurting out there. A lot of people are in the desperate need, and we are all very blessed and grateful that we have our shop.com business. So really on that note, I really want to thank you and, for all your sharing this evening and this morning to you. So let me just share a thank you note here to Stephen. Hold on a minute. All right, thank you so much, Stephen. you have been such a, had such a wonderful sharing. We have learned so much from you. And in fact, we still want to listen to more, but it's already past the 10 o'clock time, and we have a bit of announcement more to do. So special thanks to you, Stephen. We really
Thank you for having me.
We really
Yeah, thank you
appreciate
so
what
much.
you do. Yeah, thank you so much. And waking up so early. So I hope you can just stay on a few more minutes, because after the announcement, we are going to take a group photo. So definitely we want to have you in our photos, right? So
Sure.
special thanks, Stephen. We wish you all the best. We want to see you once again. Hopefully not, in the near future. We would like to invite you back again if the opportunity arises. All right. So next on, we are going to just share the upcoming events. Olivia Lee will be doing English UPP on the 19th of November, just before the Asia Pacific Leadership School. So please register. It will be a very good sharing, especially from Olivia, who is a very young director pin level. She's very, very confident and very engaging in the presentation. So you will definitely want to invite your prospects or your friends to listen to her. All right, and of course, not to be missed, the Asia Pacific Leadership School. For the first time, it's going to be online. It's from the November 20th to 22nd. It will be held online, and not only for Market Malaysia, but it will be together with Market Hong Kong, Market Australia, and Market Singapore. So we are getting 4 countries together in this leadership school, and we have guest speaker Kevin Bachman, as well as a whole lineup of fantastic speakers, who will be doing a lot of sharing over the 3 days. It's going to be very packed with events, speaker after speaker. So please get your ticket from the back office. Together with the ticket, you will also be enjoying free gifts. So please check it out and get your tickets from the back office. And upcoming, we have a Basic 5 by none other than Jasmine Hui, who will be doing the Basic 5 on the let me see the date, on the 6th of December, right? We heard her talk just now on retailing. Definitely you want to hear more, please sign up for her Basic 5. And of course, the next upcoming combined English coring, we are going to end the year 2020 on a very high note, right? It has been a roller coaster for many of us, but indeed, we want to end it with a, with a loud bang, right? So come prepared, because we're going to have exciting and fun coring in December, on the 21st of December. And of course, we have invited Sabrina Chai, the right person to introduce some fun and some colors into this event. So as you can see from the flyer, it is very close to Christmas. So we would like to invite all of you to come dressed in either red, green or gold, just the festive colors, right? And of course, not just dress. I mean, you can have some banner behind you in that colors. That would be fun. We just want to have fun while building this business. And other than Sabrina, we also have Chris Go, who will be sharing as well. And to make it more exciting, is the season of caring and sharing. There will be lucky draws. So if you register early before the 18th of December, you stand a chance to win some attractive prizes donated by the field leaders. All right, so thank you so much, everybody, for your time this evening. I hope you have learned from all the speakers. I hope you have enjoyed the session, and you come back again in December to join us, and let's end the year with a loud bang. All right, thank you so much. Now please stay on, because we will be taking photos now. Photographers, stand by, please. And after that, we're going to have a closing song.
Okay, make sure that your camera is turned on, right? I'll just snip the first page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, first page. Let me just do a checking. Okay, now another page. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Great. And the rest of you guys, don't you want to turn on your camera? Then you can be on screen actually. Yeah.
Yes, please on your video. This is a a great session, and you want to remember tonight. So on your video so that you are captured in the photos.
Yep. Okay. Great, great. I see some actually turn on the video. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, Kim.
Welcome. Stay on because we're going to play a very beautiful song, very appropriate for all of us building this business. And please sing along. All right. Thank you and see you in December. Music, please.
Wait, after taking picture. Come.
Good
you so
night.
much.
Good
everybody.
night. Good
Steven.
night.
Thank you,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Steven.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Good night. Good morning, Stephen.
Yeah.
可以解释一下那个歌是什么吗？
Kim, we can leave.
Are we still having a meeting after this?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Are we staying on for debrief or?
Or we set another timing?
Can, because I'm not sure Lillian finished the other side or not.
True.
I think she finished already. Maybe
Oh, she
just
finished.
for a short while.
Yeah, check with her. Sure.
She left already.
Then left,
Oh, then we rearrange.
we rearrange.
Okay lah. All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Good
Good
night. Thank you,
Night, good
Kim. Thank
night.
you, everybody.
Great job,
Good night,
Jaslyn.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thanks,
a lot.
Jaslyn.
Good
Yeah,
night.
learn a lot from you.
Yeah. Good night.
Bye.